Here I've started to build a DNA helix, the interior part of it, by stacking the base pairs using center lines. And it looks okay, but the center lines are kind of cluttering up the illustration. So if we wanted to make something presentable, we'd have to go into each one of these groups for the base pairs and delete the center line. And you can see where that would be kind of tedious if, say, we had 10 levels stacked on top of each other. Well, and then what if we want to modify the helix? Then we'd have to add in the center lines. Well, that would be kind of confusing. So there's another way of doing it. And the way to do it is to start out right with our first base pair and our first center line group. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into our base pair group, and we're going to highlight the center line group. And I'm going to go into Windows, and I'm going to call up the Entity Info window. And an entity is either a group or a component. In this case, it's a group because we clicked on the group, and it tells you what information about the group that you clicked on. And what we care about here is the layer information, because it says layer 0. And what we're going to do is we're going to move this group from layer 0 to layer 1. And moving is a rather pretentious word, because all we're going to do is we're going to click down here. And so there we go. Now this group is on layer 1, and you say, well, I didn't see anything different. Well, you don't right away. But watch what happens when we go to the layers window. By the way, these two windows, they snap together, which is useful because they're used together. Anyhow, here we have a list of all the layers, and you don't really need to know what the layers are. You just need to know how they relate to the groups. And this is what's going on. Oh, by the way, when you use entity info up here, you might have found that it didn't have a layer 1, layer 2, so forth. It may be that when you're first starting out your file, you only have a layer 0. Well, you can add layers like this. So that's just a by the way. Anyhow, back to this. You see we have here in the layers window a list of layers, and then over here we have a column that says visible. Well, what if we click on this check mark? Boom, that went away. The center point went away. Why did it go away? Well, because it's on layer 1. This group for the center point was on layer 1. We moved it there. And now everything that's on layer 1, if we click on this visible mark, it goes away. Now, how does that help us when we're building a DNA spiral? Let's see. We'll go like that, and then we will paste up here, and I'll move this like 30 degrees because we're just again, this is just for show. We don't care what the angles are yet. And then this one I'm going to move like 60 degrees. And I line everything up using the center points. You can see how things would get confused if I didn't have center points. All this has to go up here. There we go. Yeah, so there we have a little DNA spiral, and we have 3 groups on top of each other, and within the groups are the center point groups, and they're all on layer 1, because when you copy a group, you copy its properties. And so even though this isn't a component, the groups will all behave the same with regard to the layers because they were all set the same. Okay, now we've got these cluttering center point lines in there, and we can make them go away just by clicking there. So that cleans everything up. And so you might see possibilities here where you can add all kinds of information to help you build your DNA helix. For example, you could put like for adenine, you could put an A down here, and for thymine, you could put a T over here. You could just have them floating in space next to your molecules, and then you could put them on a different layer, and then you could make that layer appear while you're building your molecule, and you know what the different molecules are, and then you could make them disappear. But anyways, that's how you use layers when you're building a DNA spiral. And now on to the backbone.